comes to getting Jules ready. There are tattoos being done. And there's a technique. It's taken a bit of time to get it perfect. Everyone has their place, everyone has their position. It's like a train on tracks. We have a big tattoo for Juliette. We wanted something that wasn't tribal and that wasn't something we see all the time. I saw some rope in a tattoo. Lou had found a very similar one, and we thought, oh, it looks a bit like wool torn up.
When we were developing the tattoo design, I realised with the down deepers, the lower levels are quite oppressed, and they're really the only ones that have artistic expression. So we have tattooing down there. There can't be any shapes that are natural because they don't know they exist. With Juliette, she's got friendship tattoos, rings and a bracelet. There was an element of her journey that went into it.
What they do is, it's art and it takes time. It's not just about creating it and having me walk out and look good. It needs to be worn in. It's years. It's a tattoo I've worn for years. It is makeup that is not makeup. It is just Jules in a state.
I am enjoying it. I dive a lot when I can. Now we're going to get into clothes that hopefully aren't too wet. I'll see you later.
We built a set about 15 feet underwater, and we're having some fun today.
We've built this tank from scratch. It's like the second biggest underwater tank in the UK, and we've just made it for this production. This is actually our first scenes with Rebecca as well.
Is there anything that you do particularly different to prepare for underwater wear?
I stretch. I do a lot of just kind of warming up joints because you move differently in water, and I easily can get neck cramps. The diving, it's mind power, because even if you're comfortable in water, there's so much going on. So one of the most important things is sort of a quick, calming, meditative state.
Rex is going to get in the water now,
So once you go in, you're just one with it. You kind of have to be a part of the environment.
You're rolling, and
3, 2, 1, and action, Rex.
The set is so cool. It's an entire environment of corridors and what would have been left if people just evacuated, sort of Chernobyl kind of thing.
Just a thumbs up when you're set, please.
We have the communication device, so we hear the voice of God. So it's mapping out a scene whilst you're underwater.
It's just a camera right, level with camera. Yes, that's it, and we catch your eyes a lot more than when you come back to that point.
How long can she stay down there before you have to let her up?
4 hours a day over the whole day on compressed gas. But obviously that's split up quite a lot throughout the day. She probably does about 15 to 20 minutes at a time whilst we're doing each scene, and then we pull her up for air breaks.
I'm breathing through a very different tube, and sometimes it's too much. But I know that if I have any issues, he's there to save me.
Yeah, I try and take the diving out so you just concentrate on what you do.
Pete takes diving out of acting.
Juliette, she's not a swimmer, right?
No, I mean, people within the silo, they have no idea what water en masse is. And so it's also the matter of trying to not know, as a swimmer, how to move your legs and feet. But the weight belts are making me able to walk on the ground.
Just one note for Rex. Let's look up at the window earlier, please.
I'm submerged in the environment that I love.
Thank you, let's cut there, let's cut there.
I mean, what I like is, it's just fun.
Hey! Hi, I'm Steve Zahn. I play solo, and this is my pad. Check out my IT. Tim's gonna be so jealous. This is boring. Welcome to the brain of solo. These are all the periods of his life. That's how I think about it. There's like a period of studying sculptures or African art or evolution or music or flight. Origami was probably 1.5 years of his life. And then he wanted to learn the trombone. Now I'm gonna master the guitar. I'm gonna paint. I'm going to study this crazy thing called sports. I think he creates all this art.
I broke this. Broke the tail off it. I volunteered to glue it back on, but they have people that can do that.
This room's cool. This room's great. This room's interesting. Now, when you walk through that door into that room, first time I walked in here, I was actually moved. All right, check this out. It kind of makes you want to whisper. It's like walking into a cathedral. It's amazing. I came in this room in July, and I was just throwing stuff out. I was like paper airplanes, puppets. Like he's desperate for people, you know, to be around. So he creates these puppets, but it was just quick stuff. And then I got here, puppet show, man. And he puts on a show. He's like a Renaissance man, but he doesn't know what's fiction. He doesn't know what's real. It's ungrounded knowledge. If I was this guy, I would just be like immersed in this stuff. It's like being locked, you know, in a toy store. That I love. I love that it's like art that was hung here, but now he's going on and just painting over it. I mean, think about it. If you had that much time on your hands, if you were by yourself, you need the knowledge to keep yourself going so you can do your job. I think music is probably the most important thing to solo. We talk about an eclectic taste in music, from polka to Metallica. All right, thanks for showing up. You know the way out, and good luck getting out. I will go back to what I usually do. See ya.
Peace, I'm Common.
My name's Iain Glen.
Hi, I'm Nash.
Hi, I'm Remi Milner. I play Shirley.
Hi, I'm Steve Zahn. I'm Chinaza Uche, and we're here to watch season 2 of Silo.
Feels wonderful to be here and very exciting to be diving into this new series.
And I love all the rest of the cast, and we haven't seen each other for a while.
Look at us right now, like everyone would rather just kind of hang out with each other. That's when you know you're around a good group of people.
I think the series is emotional. I think it's exciting.
We didn't have to set up the world. We'd already done that heavy lifting in season 1.
And season 2 has kind of put everybody into a massive conflict.
Season 2 in one word.
Epic.
Daunting.
Resistance.
Surviving.
Underground.
Intrigue.
Thrilling.
Adventure.
Apple TV Plus. We doing it, y'all. Sims is really going through some moments where he's being broken down in a way, like broken down in the way that he's being challenged by the things that he already believes, but also he is really trying to get to a position where he could do more in the silo as Bernard's shadow, and he's getting resistance for that, and he really believes he can he has the mindset and the experience and the intuition to help save the silo and keep order in the silo, but Bernard is not agreeing in that way. And Camille Sims' wife, Camille Sims, is his like, he bounces a lot of things off her. He listens to her. She's a powerful and very intelligent person and woman. So, and everywhere he's going, he's getting that resistance, but he has that partner. So you find these different aspects and dimensions of Sims now, seeing him with his wife and his son, and it's beautiful. I love, because everybody knew Sims as, they felt like, yo, this is the enforcer. But there's more to him than that. He's a human being, and I felt really great when friends I knew who first would be like, man, we hate Sims, man. It's Sims, man. Why you doing that? Why you doing that? You know, people take it as you doing that. Why are you doing that? But then they was like, man, I'm starting to feel for Sims as the season went along. So now you get to know him even more.
I think just season 1 set the world, didn't it? So we get used to the world of being in the silo and people starting to ask their questions. And then season 2, they get the answers to those questions, but it probably just leads to more questions. So yeah, more mystery, more intrigue. What's more to come? Yeah.
Well, Graham and Rebecca called me and pitched me this character, and I read season 2, and I was floored by it, as well as the prospects of playing this guy. And then I saw the season. I saw season 1 before it was finished, and was a huge fan. Thought it was brilliant, and so to be asked, you know, to join something that's already established and tonally amazing and beautifully acted and looks amazing and was a thrill.
Oh man, it's very hard to say without ruining things, but I think Lukas is very much from the pot into the frying pan, into the fire, into the hellfire. You know, he kind of just keeps finding himself in one situation after another that's worse and worse. But that's, you know, how you build characters. So I think people will be very excited to see what happens to him and how far he rises or falls, you know?
Yeah, so many. I think with Shirley and Knots, they go on this beautiful journey where they are full of frustration and full of rage and energy. And that's on a large scale, you know. They're rallying up everyone in the silo, but they also have these gorgeous, tender moments where they can be quieter and show their vulnerability and that they don't always get it right. And I think the contrast of that is just pitched so well.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, the first season was about kind of rediscovering a relationship with his daughter. And I think I was drawn to the role partly because it's quite a cold world, the world of the silo, and there seemed a real warm kind of underbelly to their story, to their history. And part of the nature of the silo is people are kept apart, kept from sort of properly understanding, so they kind of rediscover each other, which is really lovely. And then the second season, is kind of, I'm kind of on my own without her, I suppose. But it's a lovely journey, and I got to work with, different actors on this one, with Carmen and Tim, and it was great fun. It's such a well-mounted series. I think the novels are brilliant, and I think Apple have just done the best job at adapting them. I think it's such a strong show, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. Yeah.
I mean, I think we all get along so well. It's kind of crazy. So there were constant jokes, you know. But part of the joy, I think, was that we got to play these intense moments, these apocalyptic setting, and then we could have a break and go just joke around. What was my favorite moment? I mean, there was a ton of them. Episode 10 is a really special episode too. I think it's gonna blow people's minds, you know.
100%. Yeah, some of the stuff in 10 is like wild, and the energy of a bunch of people who really like each other, who also care about the story, is pretty intoxicating, at least for us, and hopefully for the audience. I believe it will be for the audience too. Potential
rebellion. It's the potential of a rebellion, and that's what's cooking up, and that's what Sims is. If a rebellion happens, everybody may die. We have never experienced a rebellion during our lifetime, but what we know of rebellions, that's when silos have gotten wiped out. So that's basically like a nuclear bomb for what we know. Like, it's like a bomb that could destroy the world. A rebellion could be that to us, and we just don't want it to happen. So we're figuring out ways, myself and Bernard. But it's something when, you know, Bernard is a superior to, as far as position and ranking in the silo. But when you're superior and somebody you've been dedicated to and committed to and shown your worth is not valuing you, and kind of pushes you to the side and puts you in a position where you can't really do as much, it's stunting. It messes not only with the work you could do, but even your own like belief in yourself. And Sims is experiencing some of that, so you get to see some of the doubts in Sims and the struggles, which I love.
You know, spoiler alert, at the end of 1, she, you know, exits her silo and sees that her world is a lot bigger than she thought. And that leaves you hanging, and then she finds me. And, you know, it's not hard math to kind of figure it out. But I'm a very unique character in that I've been alone for decades, and so we're these two introverted people that meet each other, and there's this story happening in 17, and in 18 there's another story that's exploding.
It's, you know, the kind of central mystery remains, and you kind of, and I think that sustains all the way through. So it can be perceived, and what makes it such good drama is it can be perceived in lots of different ways. But I think it speaks to us today, without getting too earnest about it. I think, you know, we live in a very, I don't know, slightly unstable, scary world, and we don't quite know, you know, what the truth is and what isn't the truth. You know, it's a constant, something I wasn't aware of 10 years ago. You read a fact and you knew where it was, and you know, now that's kind of, and that this series kind of captures that, I think, in a quite a disturbing way.
It's a really cooperative and community-like set. I'm sure a lot of people say that, but they all enjoy working together, and so, but they're also embracing. So when Zahn joined, it was basically just him and Rebecca for a big stretch of time. And Rebecca and I got on a Zoom with Steve when we were wanting to hire him and trying to talk him into it. We already had him. We didn't know that, but we already had him. He was dying to do it. They just hit it off. So they had so much fun working together that, you know, it's a cool deal. The other part of it was expanding the actual sort of physical world. So we see this other silo, this dead silo. And Nicole Northridge, our production designer, did an amazing job with figuring out how that would look. So, you know, it was a weird year, right? It's the strikes. I saw episodes and I never saw any of the water tanks. I was there for that. But when you have the directors that we have, so Michael Dinner and Aric Avelino and Amber Templemore, you're in good hands. It's going to be good.
What's the big question?
What if everything you know to be true was just one big lie?
For as long as we can remember, everyone that goes outside is killed by the dangerous toxins of an unsafe world. Juliette Nichols asked to go out. She was a fighter.
Warning, oxygen levels low.
But she died a hero to the silo!
She might be out there somewhere, still alive.
The lies have to stop.
People are saying it's time for a rebellion.
You can't control what she means to people.
I need to know what happened here. For my friends, my family. All we're trying to do is survive.
Nothing's gonna stop me from trying.
You're frightened. I'm not afraid of the rebellion. I'm more afraid of what she saw.
You try to open the door again, and I'm gonna kill you.